What is poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another anime review. However, this one is a little bit more disappointing in my book. I'm not too happy with this one. It is another 12-episode anime, and another anime which I did get shown on TikTok. Well, I was actually watching my girlfriend's TikTok. I saw it on hers, and I'm like, shit, I want to watch that. So I started watching it, and unfortunately, it took me over 3 days to watch because of how boring it was, but I put time into it, and I was like, you know what, I might as well finish it. I started it, might as well finish it. It's only 12 episodes. However, it felt like it went on forever. It took me 3 days to finish it because I watched 3 episodes at a time. And it's not even 12 episodes, it's 13. So I was sat there for another extra episode, just being dragged on and on this really boring story. It had a very cool sort of idea to it. I just think it was executed poorly, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the video, because first off, we're going to be taking a look at each episode in its own deep dive. So this anime is called Myriad Phantom World. A strange virus infects the human brains and gives them the ability to see supernatural beings who turn out to have been living alongside them the entire time. So, phantoms are alive in this world. Yokai, ghosts, ghouls, spooky creatures which shouldn't normally be seen by humans have now been seen by humans, and because this virus has arose, giving everyone the power to see them, it has also arose to the superpowered kids, which are being used to fight them. So our main band of characters are a kid who can draw, and he can draw animals to create them, and he can draw them to seal them away as well. We have another one who's just super strong, and she feels herself up to create different elemental powers. We have a girl that eats them, we have a girl that sings, and a girl that has a giant teddy bear. That's pretty much our band of characters. It is a harem anime, I do believe. I could be using that in the wrong terms, but I do believe that's what it is. So, we have them all slowly banding together over the course of the first 5 episodes, because the first 2 episodes get us used to our main character, which is just the strong girl and the draw guy. And we then meet the Eat girl in a mission, and she has strict parents, and she doesn't really want to join the group, but she joins the group anyway, and they take her out on like an all-you-can-eat buffet, and she fucking demolishes it, and that's basically her payment from now on. She doesn't want actual cash, she just wants an all-you-can-eat buffet, and everyone else gets cash. Our main girl is short on cash, so that's pretty much her entire personality. She's a very angry girl as well, and she's a ruffian, so it's to be expected. But every episode is something different. They're fighting a different monster, different creature. We have one where they're trying to steal them away from home and make them into, rabbits, which is weird. We have one where they're turning into cats. We have one where they're turning into children. Our main guy turns into a kid, and they have to work out why. We have another one where there's a hot spring. We have another beach episode. We have a firework episode where the little pixie girl turns human for the day. And the final episode is where they go off on a journey to fight the main bad guy. And there's a lot of lore. The last 2 episodes are the fucking best too, because we get into lore and actual character development with our main characters, having to deal with the trauma of their past and their mums leaving them when they were young, and this monster's putting on the face of their mother and stealing away their powers, and they have to defeat them and learn to grow and use their powers and be a solid unit and a solid team, and accept that they are a team and accept that they are friends. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire series summed up really, really quickly, because it is that bland and that boring that I can sum it up that quickly, and if I missed anything, it probably wasn't that important anyway. The art style is decent, I will say that. The art style is pretty beautiful. It is made by a couple of other animation studios, which I am fond of, so I will give it that. It does have a very nice anime style. Story, pretty shit. I don't like how it's a very episodic type of anime, and there isn't much sort of linking the episodes together. It starts off as like a linear anime and ends like a linear anime. However, that's just like the first 2 and the last 2 episodes. The other 9 are very episodic and don't really matter into the plot, and you can sort of watch them in any order and it would still make sense roughly. So there isn't much episodicity to it, like a linear lines to the story, which is upsetting, The world building is amazing. I like all the demons. I like how it slowly reveals the phantoms and what they can do throughout the episode and how to stop them. I also like how sometimes their powers are very useful, sometimes the powers aren't useful. It just makes for a solid balance in the power scaling of the anime. Like, it's very sort of elemental based, where you have a giant monkey who's like a water based phantom, you have a giant lion who's like a rock based phantom, and then you have other ones which are sort of mix of both, like a metal phantom and electric phantom put together, which is quite interesting. And I like the power scaling, I like the world building. The characters aren't that interesting. They're mainly girls and they are sexualized. There's no panty shots, unless you count swimwear. There's no real panty shots, so it still holds its ground in that department, because I absolutely hate that in anime where it gives us random panty shots which just aren't needed. And overall ruin a series for me. I just hate shots like that. I think they're so unnecessary and unneeded, and I don't want them in an anime. I think animes can be good without trying to shove panty shots in your face, and I had this discussion in my Zombieland Saga video. I talked about that a little bit there as well. And some of you might call me weird, but I don't care. I don't like it, and I don't want it in my anime. And it will knock it down a couple of points, in my opinion. With this anime, though, we did have one of her characters have to sort of feel herself up a little bit to use her power, which I felt was very unneeded and was literally just there for fan service, especially with the beach episode and also the hot spring episode were also there just for fan service, and it just caused me to hate the series a little bit more than I already did. I already felt like the story was very lackluster and disappointing, and then it just added that on top. It just felt like a very shit series, and I'm going to be honest, some stories don't need an overly complex storyline to be good. You can have some like anime with a good storyline, which, you know, you can just sit and watch and relax to, like Zombieland Saga. This is not it. This did not hit. It has a really good premise, and I feel like this anime could have gone quite far, could have gone quite well, if done right, and I just feel like it wasn't done right. The power systems was really cool, the fights was really cool, but the regular day-to-day life that they went through and sort of primarily did with this series was quite boring, and I don't know, it just felt like filler. It felt like it was a whole series of filler, and the fights were very lackluster as well. Like, there were good fights, there was some excellent fights, but other fights were just like, yeah, okay, that was entertaining for all of what, 2 seconds. That fight wasn't that excellent, and I just feel like I'm hating on this series at this point. And to be fair, I am really, because it was so bad and it took me so long to watch, and it completely ruined my flow of anime. I was in like my mood of watching so many different 12-episode animes and enjoying it, just bouncing from story to story, having a lot of fun, and then I hit this one, and it just caused me to completely slow down, completely lose my flow, and completely lose motivation in watching anime altogether. So I'm so glad that I've moved on from this, and I can go on to bigger and better things, and watch bigger and better things than this. However, I am glad I watched this. Now I can say and safely have an opinion on it. I have watched the entire thing, so now I can safely say that I'm not a fan of this series. I will not watch this again, and I regret watching it. It is a 3 out of 10. This series is a 3 out of 10, borderlining a 4, because I really don't want to watch this again. And that's how my system goes. 1 to 3, I don't want to watch again, and it's a complete waste of time. 4 to 6, I've watched it, I'm glad I watched it, but I don't want to watch it again. 7 to 10, excellent, we'll watch again. You know what, this is a 3, this is a definite 3. I didn't enjoy watching it, and I don't want to watch it again. I can say I've watched it, but I'm not happy that I watched it. I do believe it was a waste of my time, but at least I can say I have watched it, and that isn't really anything. The best part of the entire series was the dog. The dog was fucking adorable. I loved the dog every time the dog was on the screen. It was so cute. And that's what literally kept me going, because the dog was used quite often. So seeing the dog kept me going through the series, kept me watching it, kept me coming back, and that's pretty much it. That's all I really have for you. And I am so sorry that this has just been a negative onslaught for this video. However, there isn't much good to say about this anime, other than the voice acting and the animation and the world building. All that's good. It's just the story completely destroys the rest of that. The story drains all of that and just makes you hate watching it, makes it feel like a chore to watch it. And if I didn't want to get a review out of it, I wouldn't have watched the entire thing. I would have gave up at episode 3. So I'm committed for you guys. I watched it all for you guys. So I hope you're happy. You made me suffer and sit through this. None of you asked for this anime review either. I just saw it on TikTok and wanted to watch it. So it's completely my doing. But if I have to suffer, I'm going to get content out of it. I'm going to get content out of me suffering. So there you go. That's my anime review. If you are a fan of my content and you do like my content, you want more anime reviews, please do check out the anime playlist. Or if you're a fan of me and you want to go check out everything else I have to offer, like TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, anything else on that sort of lines, please do go check out the link in the description. And it'll take you to everything that I have to offer. However, that is me done for the day. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one, where hopefully we're a little bit more positive and a little bit more upbeat, talking about a good anime. But yeah, bye-bye.